Alright people, today on Storytime, welcome back to the channel, Heuer Horology. These are what I call one-take videos, where I am not cutting these up. I'm actually just giving you raw footage of watches that I own, and I'm possibly rotating my collection. And today, if you saw it on the short, you might already know what this is. This is the TAG Heuer Aquaracer. Now, quick story, and then I'll give you a close-up on the watch. This particular Aquaracer is a 2011 model, and Aquaracer was not around when the company was originally called TAG, or Heuer, TAG, and they were purchased and they put the name TAG Heuer together to combine the names. The Aquaracer was not a part of the original lineup that they had as the company, and this is actually, I think, the second iteration of the Aquaracer. Alright, so this is the blue bezel Aquaracer, and I don't see a lot of these on YouTube or online, specifically because this model here is the Calibre 5, and I'm going to open it up and take it off. This is not the most modern of Aquaracers. Now, the modern Aquaracers, I believe, are in-house movements, whereas this was what they called Calibre 5, is basically just an ETA movement, ETA 200, I believe, that they dressed up with their own markings to make it the TAG Heuer Calibre 5. And I'm just winding the watch so it gets it going there. Manual wound, automatic manual wound to get it going. You can see that electric blue color and bezel. It's got an inner color sunburst and then an outer, which gives it a nice taste. And unlike the most models of the Aquaracer, you see these hands are actually round. This watch is 80% Submariner, in my opinion. They took a lot of traits from the Submariner that they didn't later carry on. Not sure if they felt like they were too close to the sun, but one thing about this particular model, 2011, this bezel here is actually aluminum. I think it's 22 clicks all the way around, or 20, I'm not counting, maybe it's a traditional 300. It feels good, tactical, and you get 300 meters of water resistance out of this. So this is a true diver's watch, where a lot of divers will do 200 meters. This is screw down crown and a quick set date. So if you pull it all the way out, you can adjust the hours. If you pull it one notch, you can quickly set the date. And then when you want to put it away and wear it, you're going to screw your crown down, and that's going to seal you up real good from getting water into your watch. And this is the standard bracelet. Or am I mistaken? I thought it was a screw down crown. No, it is a screw down crown. I'm just spinning and spinning. All right, and then this is the actual bracelet that came with it, so you might recognize this design. This is, again, a Rolex style bracelet. People will call this the oyster bracelet, but it's not, and you can see how it kind of sits in there to try to integrate it. And then finally, if you just look at the crown, it's got the TAG Heuer marking on there. So that's the TAG Heuer Aquaracer. The size is a 41 millimeter. For a 41, I will say this, it does fit quite nicely on the wrist. It doesn't look too big. I'm a guy who's adverse to larger watches, so for me this is probably the maximum with lug to lug that I'm going to wear that I think would fit my hand. Looks great. The only problem with the aluminum is it can scratch easy, so you need to be a little more careful with it. And I think the power reserve is a standard ETA. You're going to get about 38 to 42 hours of power. As a diver, the lume, if you care about that, it does have really good lume despite it being a 2011, and it will light up pretty well and stay depending on how you charge it. It's not Tudor levels of lume, but again, if you look at the watch, this is a pretty slim diver's watch. I think this is about 11 millimeters high, and it sits on a great profile on the wrist. This particular watch, quick story, I did get this watch from a pawn shop, as I tend to do. This one, it was on a different bracelet, aftermarket bracelet, and it was tore up, so I got a really good deal on this particular watch. And I've had it for at least half a year now. Been to the beach with it. I'm thinking this one is probably going to go up for sale, so you can probably find it on my Instagram, Heuer Horology, or send me a message if you're interested. Gonna move this particular Calibre 5. It's super clean. No issue on crystal. You can see it on my wrist. Really, the only scratches are right here. But yeah, so this is the TAG Heuer Calibre 5. I don't think this generation gets enough credit. People who buy the Aquaracer, you can get a really good deal on this particular generation, and it is, in my opinion, still a very pretty movement. And I think what makes it really pretty is the fact that they did copy that Submariner heritage, despite the fact that a lot of people say, it's not original, or it looks too much like a Submariner, or it's using an ETA movement. But those things are what make it unique, and what you can still get it at a really good price, as opposed to like the modern TAG Heuers where you're going to pay a lot more because of the in-house movement and the finishing and level of detail, where this is still a TAG Heuer, still a great watch. So thanks for tuning in. I got more watches coming. I usually put out the shorts first for the watches, and depending on the reaction, I'll then post a video of the watch. So we've got our Raymond Wiles Maestro, and I have, I think I mentioned the Cartier Tank and some other watches. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, see you next time.